The Hardcast.
It's time for another artificially romantic episode of the Hardcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Steven.
Kiss my deity.
And Victor.
But we not green with Titi Pond.
Wow.
Okay. Tonight's review/discussion is about the 2003 Korean sci-fi film Natural City, directed by Min Bing Bong Chi. Whatever. Anyway, I'm terrible with Korean names despite being Asian myself. Basically, the story revolves around R and Noma, who are MPs or cops whose job it is to hunt down renegade cyborgs. Anyway, Natural City has lots of similarities to the movie Bladerunner as far as the themes, the atmosphere, action elements, and as well as the romance. So, Victor, we'll start with you. Did Natural City recharge your batteries, or did it leave you alone on a bench to expire?
Wow.
I would say I was like for like a halfway recharge, you know.
Oh, okay.
Like
You had like a memory on your battery. You have like a 10-minute memory battery or whatever on your laptop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Like my shitty ass laptop.
Shitty as hell.
Agreed. It is shitty as hell.
Yep. Well, like you say, we got this guy R. He's like pretty much the best in like the police squad.
Well, that's what everyone keeps saying, you know.
Yeah, that's what it
Or
is.
yeah, at least he was the best at one time. Go ahead.
Was the best, right? Until like apparently he met this one cyborg girl called what's her name?
Rhea.
Yeah.
Rhea.
Which I'm wondering if it's short for diarrhea. But
Wow. It's just
Right,
real.
they don't show anything before that. Like the movie starts like right when because like those cyborgs they have like a 3-year expiration date,
Yeah.
and like
it-
the story starts like when she has just a few days left. So he's like really upset. He's like trying to figure out a way to like
extend her life. Yeah.
extend her life,
tries to save her.
and he pretty much like goes rogue on the rest of the team. And his partner Noma.
And he's like all corrupt and shit, like stealing chips from dead cyborgs and selling them, and like doing all sorts of corrupt cop stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
he would tell him not to do that, aim for the head and just end it, but he would refuse to shoot for the head. He'd shoot for the body, try to spare the robot so he can collect the chips,
Yeah, because he's working like closely with this one doctor who used to work in a team that created cyborgs, so then he got kicked out or something like that.
Yeah, he got kicked out because of some crazy experiments where he was trying, transferring people's brains or like to other bodies and stuff like that.
Illegal experiments.
Yeah.
Right, and like you said, this movie is very similar to
Blade Runner, yeah.
Blade Runner, yeah. Like the atmosphere is very similar,
It's always raining and shit,
Right. And like we got these gritty towns, that's like.
Yeah,
Wow.
very packed towns with lots of people, overpopulation, on and on.
Right, and then you got these other characters. You got this one orphan girl. Her name is. Don't tell me. You got it. Cypher, right? Scion.
Zion.
Zion.
Zion, yeah.
Sion, or whatever.
Yeah. Cypher is the name of this rogue robot. But we'll get to him later. And then,
Mhm.
we got Scion here. She's like a really nice girl, but like.
Well, she's kind of like a fortune teller / prostitute.
She's
Oh,
trying
wow.
to be a fortune teller, but she makes all her money through prostitution.
Well, yeah, but her whole thing was like, let me tell hey, handsome, let me do your fortune. If it's really good, then you get to keep me tonight or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, whatever it takes to get by. Can't
Yeah.
blame her.
hell of a sales pitch.
It works every time. It got her this far.
Right, so basically the whole story is like, he's trying to get his, he talks to the doctor, and the doctor tells him that he needs to find this girl to find a match to be able to transfer,
Yeah, DNA match.
the DNA match to be able to transfer his lover's body, the cyborg Rhea, into a human body. So they find her, and she's a match. So he's like trying to go after her. And like,
Yeah.
while all this is happening, the cyborg,
Renegade
robot-
cyborg, yeah.
Yeah. He's like going off and doing all this type of crazy shit, and then the police force trying to do something about it.
Yeah, it's in like the specially trained MPs who have like really crazy cool armor, masks and guns and shit. But yeah, go ahead.
Alright, yeah, but this story don't think there's gonna be a lot of action because there's not too much action. Although when there is action, it gets pretty cool. It's
Pretty
Yeah,
intense.
decent.
Pretty intense.
yeah.
Pretty aggressive
But
fighting.
there's not really much of that here. I mean, it's only like 3 fights total, I think, like in the whole movie.
I mean, they're not short fights, but they're like in the beginning pretty much and at the end pretty much. I mean, there's like some small like little scuffles in the middle, but they're not really anything
It's
major.
more action scenes, not really fighting. It's more action
Right.
scenes.
Right.
It's just mainly the beginning and the end.
But it'll
But
keep
they
you
were
interesting, though. I mean, there's like a lot of drama going on, a lot of things going on all the time. So you're always interested. You always want to see what happens next.
And the special effects are pretty cool. I mean, considering it's it's a Korean movie and they don't do much sci-fi films.
It was nice, like the night scene. When R is walking through the town, he sees the invisible girl, and then she like electronically appears in front of the lady
Yeah, like
or
the
whatever.
hologram girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
the effects
stuff like that. Yeah, lighting, all that stuff. It was very futuristic.
And they got the flying cars, just like in Blade Runner or other movies like Fifth Element.
Or the flying freaking place, that whole place where you go to dream. That whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
It's like
god.
it's like a cruise ship, but in the air.
Yeah, the cruise ship is like always, always like flying around town, like on top of like all the poor people, like teasing them, like, yeah, we're over here having a good time, and you guys can't do shit until you buy one of our tickets and start running with our.
To paint a picture for our listeners, it's this big. I won't say blimp, but it's a giant, like freaking almost continent where it flies above the town, constantly, showing these commercials. You could be up here dreaming, Basically, you get a ticket, you go up there, and you're allowed to sit down and make or recreate your own, little space where no one can bother you. Your dreams come true, and you just do what you do what you want. It's a retreat, a way for you to get away from reality, where most people nowadays can use something like that.
Yeah, and the artist like always telling Rhea, like, yeah, one day we're gonna go there, we're gonna buy a ticket, and we're gonna take the cruise.
Right.
So, well, I actually didn't like the movie too much because, I don't know, it's just kind of weird for me. I mean, first of all, you got this, like, the DVD that I saw was not English, it was Korean, so I had to, like, read subtitles, and I hate reading subtitles.
That's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was, like, a major turnoff for me. But I mean, the movie was, like I say, it was really weird, and it was like hard to figure out exactly what was going on at certain times because I don't know, the way they would explain things. Like Chris had to tell me what was happening between like the doctor and someone else.
I admit, I was a little bit confused the first time I saw it. This is the second time I saw it, but second time through, it all clicked, But I do agree, like. The thing I didn't, well, one of the things I didn't like about the movie was I felt like it was trying to be too many things at the same time.
Agreed.
And I mean, like, if you look at any one part, it does it okay, but because there's so many things in the movie, it kind of dilutes the whole. And I really felt like if they had just focused more on maybe the characters like R and Noma. If they had focused more on them and built more chemistry between those two and showed more like their history, and maybe just like had more action scenes and more, more stuff with them tracking down the renegade cyborg, I think it would have made for an overall like more entertaining movie. The focus on the romance wasn't. I mean, I understand why they did it, but I felt like it fell flat in a lot of places.
It was, they stretched it out too much.
Right, and I really could not figure out why R was so in love with this cyborg girl. I mean, I guess on a physical side, I guess you could be like one of those fall in love at first sight type things, but
right.
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with her or anything, but it's just that she's like, I just felt like he could get someone just like that again, just get another cyborg.
Oh, she just wasn't up to your standards, huh, Chris?
No, it's not that. It's just, but it was like, if she had like some crazy good personality and that was what he was trying to save, I could understand that. But she was just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, but she was just.
Yeah, she doesn't really show much emotion, like.
Right,
really.
she really wasn't much of a character. And I just didn't really have much feeling for her. I mean, it was obvious that R had like lots of feeling for her, and that was almost enough to get me through the movie. But if you really look at it, it was like it was hard for me to see from his point of view. And I mean, just to talk about R a little bit, he's basically like this anti-hero. He smokes, he drinks, he gets his fucking his friends get killed because of him. His teammates because he's not doing his job properly because he's too busy worrying about getting money. And I don't mind the anti-heroes. Like, I like them when they're done right. I like Snake Plissken, Escape from New York, Escape from LA. I like Riddick from the Riddick movies. Like, those are good anti-heroes. This guy